Welcome back to Nerdageddon, the channel where we dissect, debate, and occasionally get chest bursted by the nerdiest universes in existence. Today we're cracking open the complete Alien timeline, from prehistoric hunts to interstellar nightmares. Because the Alien movies were not released in chronological order. In fact, they jump centuries apart. It is to be noted that the new Alien Earth television series was not added to this list of movies. So grab your motion tracker and flamethrower, because we're going through every Alien film in timeline order, from the first Predator encounter on Earth to the resurrection of Ripley herself. Our story starts in, believe it or not, the early 2000s with Alien vs. Predator. An expedition in Antarctica discovers an ancient pyramid buried beneath the ice. Turns out the Predators have been using Earth as their hunting ground for centuries, and humans were just the spectators. Inside the pyramid, Xenomorphs are bred as prey for young predators to prove themselves. It's the first recorded human contact with both species, and humanity barely survives the encounter. So yeah, how? The aliens were here way before Weyland—Yutani even had a logo. A VP Requiem picks up immediately after the first film. A Predator ship crashes in small-town Colorado, unleashing a Predalien hybrid, part Predator, part Xenomorph, and all nightmare. The movie shifts to full-on survival horror as the US military gets involved. And surprise, the Weyland Corporation quietly shows up again to clean up the mess and recover alien tech. It's brutal, dark, and marks the first true fusion of the Predator and Alien universes. Fast forward almost a century. In Prometheus, 2012, humanity discovers a star map left by ancient civilizations, pointing to a distant moon called LV-223. The Weyland Corporation sends an expedition led by Elizabeth Shaw and the synthetic David to meet our supposed creators, the engineers. But instead of enlightenment, they unleash a mutagen that warps life itself, creating the earliest forms of the Xenomorph. This is where the alien nightmare truly begins. 10 years later, in Alien Covenant, a colony ship encounters the same horror. David, now a rogue AI, has annihilated the engineers and perfected his own biological weapon, the protomorph, the ancestor of the modern Xenomorph. He's basically Dr. Frankenstein meets Space Lucifer. This is the birth of the true alien species. Elegant, horrifying, and unstoppable. Now we reach the one that started it all. Alien 1979. The crew of the Nostromo lands on LV-426, finds a derelict ship filled with eggs, and one poor soul gets a face full of hug. From there, pure sci-fi horror perfection. Ripley emerges as our reluctant hero, and Weyland-Yutani's obsession with the specimen begins in full force. Here's the newest edition, Alien Romulus, 2024. Set between Alien and Aliens, this story follows young colonists who uncover a derelict Weyland-Yutani station. And what's inside is straight from your nightmares. It's a terrifying bridge between the first two films, mixing Ridley Scott's slow-burn horror with Cameron's chaotic intensity. If you ever wondered what happened between Ripley's escape and her 57-year nap, this is it. Decades later, Ripley wakes up and finds out humans colonized LV-426. Smart move, right? In Aliens, we get space marines, pulse rifles, and the alien queen herself. It's one of the greatest sequels ever made, an explosion of action, terror, and maternal fury. Then comes Alien 3. Ripley crashes on a prison planet, bringing one last stowaway. With no weapons, no help, and no hope, she faces her final stand. It's bleak, tragic, and marks the end of Ripley's original arc, or so we thought. In Alien Resurrection, Ripley is cloned, and so is the alien queen inside her. The result? A twisted hybrid mother-child relationship that's both fascinating and disturbing. It's the most bizarre and experimental entry, part horror, part dark comedy, and it closes the main Alien saga for now. And there you have it, the entire Alien timeline, from the ancient Predator hunts to Ripley's resurrection centuries later. It's a story of human greed, artificial gods, and creatures that define cinematic terror. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, drop a comment with your favorite Alien film, and subscribe for more journeys across the nerd multiverse. Because here at Nerdageddon, we don't run from xenomorphs, we review them to oblivion.